The ability to create and use tools is one of the defining characteristics of the human species. For most of human history, these tools have been made of stone, and because stone tools survive so well over time, they often offer us our only window into the past. Understanding how tools and the materials they were made from were traded is highly informative about past social relationships, just like understanding modern trade is informative about current international relationships. My research contributes to this globally relevant discussion by evaluating our ability to answer questions about these subjects within the context of BC's interior plateau. Now, I will be examining the Arrowstone Hills, which have been used as a source of stone tool material for thousands of years. The goal is to determine the level of elemental variability within the stone here, so we can better evaluate where these materials ended up. The Arrowstone Hills were formed during a period of intense regional volcanism about 50 million years ago, and they are almost entirely composed of a volcanic stone called dacite, which is one of the best materials for making stone tools. Now, unsurprisingly, the First Nations of the area have used this as a source of stone tool material for a very long time. What is astounding, however, is the level of the use. Archaeological assessments of the source have found it littered with quarries, some that are hundreds of square meters in size. Furthermore, these materials have been found at sites more than 350 kilometers away from the source and more than 5,000 years old. That these materials moved so far at a time when travel would have been primarily by foot is striking. Now, these results are based on studies that have compared the elemental composition of artifacts to the elemental composition of the source. And while they're impressive, they may face a serious problem. The stone at this source has largely been assumed to be homogeneous, but it may not be. And this really challenges our ability to determine if artifacts found elsewhere do come from this source. My research will address this by evaluating the level of elemental variability in this source, and this is possible because of X-ray fluorescence analysis, which determines the elemental composition of a material by bombarding it with radiation and measuring the resulting excitement. This allows us to generate an elemental signature for the sample, which can then be compared to signatures from potential origin sources. Now, previous research on the Arrowstone Hills has used this approach, but again, it may have been compromised by the variability in the source. Therefore, my research will allow us to evaluate our current interpretations based on these results about trade, raw material selection across vast distances and over thousands of years. Finally, it will create for us a reliable starting place for future research on similar subjects and generate valuable information for First Nations and regulatory bodies to generate policies for land management and heritage conservation.